Okay. So guys, before going for designing, so if you before going to work into the pivot table, we must have a complete understanding about data. So how to read data is very important before going for summarizing it. So what we will do here, this is what my store data. So I just go for keeping this as a data folder here, all my data. I copy this data to another sheet where I keep it as spatial values and transpose. These are my fields. This is the values. Now I want to understand about data type to summarize data. This is what my target. So how will you go for identifying data type to be summarized for analysis? Let me show you here. So guys, the date field which you have it, you just have to write format cell, make it to a date format. Use this format pen, apply wherever the date field comes, convert them into date field. Okay. So first of all, when you want to summarize this data, guys, please go on mute. Guys, please go on mute. When you go for summarizing this data, when you say customer ID, right? How do you want to go for readings? How do you go for using this customer ID? We'll go for measure, right? It is going to be your count of customer ID. So we call this as a measure field. When it come to company, you say company by how many customers are there. By company, how many, what is the average age of the customer? By company, what is the minimum spend? What is the maximum spend? So this is called as my dimension field. Date is going to be a time dimension field. Okay. Your card active is also a dimension field. Your this is also going to be a time dimension field. This is also a dimension field by store wise if you want to see the performance. This is also called dimension field. This is by gender wise you want to see, this is dimension field. The spend amount is going to be a measure field. This is going to be time dimension field. This is also going to be a kind of time dimension field. This is called as your measure. This can be dimension or can be a measure field. Okay guys, this can be a dimension or this can be a measure field. How? Because I can go for each age group wise how many customers, each age bucket wise how many customers. So it can be dimension. The age can be average age, minimum age and maximum age or standard deviation of the age. So this is why we call dimension or it can be measure. State code is going to be a dimension field. Postal code is going to dimension field. This is dimension field. This is a measure field. Now this is a dimension field. This is also a dimension field. This is called as a measure field. This is called as a dimension field. This is called as a dimension field. This is called as a dimension field. This is called as a measure field. And this is definitely called as a measure field. Now, for my analysis, select which field is important. Yes, I need customer ID, which is important for me. I need by company, which is important for me. I don't have to use any time dimension now. I just go like this. Gender, yes, I need this field, which is important to me. Age, I need this field for summary analysis, which is important to me. State code is also equally important for me. I will take this as my measure field, as a dimension field. Then number of trips, which is given over here, that also be equally important for me. I will keep that field. I will also go for analyzing this data based on my spend amount, which is also equally important. I just keep this field. So guys, these are the field which I want to keep for my analysis to summary. So I don't want to keep rest all. So what are the fields I need here? If I look at to present any analysis, I need to have all these yes field. So I need customer ID, company, gender, age, state code, number of trips, and the spend amount. So this is where I identify. This is called summary variables, which is important for my analysis. Once I've identified those columns, what I need to do here, I go to this data. I can select those columns which is important for me. I can keep those columns only. I copy this. I go to another sheet. I call this as summary fields, or summary fields already taken, you call summary data. So first you identify data, then summary variables which is required, then go for getting summary data here. This is my header. Now using this data, I'll go for analysis, right? So I need to start with my very basic pivot table. What is basic pivot table says that if I select this data, I go to the new sheet. In this, when I go for insert and pivot, it shows me pivot table as a field list, all the field names in the data range which you have. Then the dragging area as filter, column, row, and value field. You bring company into row, you bring customer ID into the value, make this customer ID summarize as a count of customer ID. You can see by company wise what is the count of customer. This is where you got to know how to use by row level and the value field. I copy this pivot table and I paste it over here. In this, I add a gender. Now you see the same count of customer. It is by row and column, which you have decided column as gender and row as this value. In the third part of it, where we go for creating this by giving state code into the filter. What does it mean? If I select my state code as New South Wales, it shows me what is the count of customer for male, female, male, unisex. For Apollo and other companies, it is going to give over here. Right, guys? In this data, how to read the pivot table? You say, this is my row total. You say, this is my grand total. You say, this is my column total. Understood, guys? This is how we need to read data, and this is how we need to understand how to use a pivot table with four dragging areas: filter, column, as well as your row, as well as your value field. Now this is called basic pivot 1. After this, what I'll do here, using the summary data, I'll go for basic pivot table 2. In this basic pivot table 2, what I will do here, I take two fields into the row level, company as well as gender, and I take customer ID into the value field. Same time I take spend amount is also into the value field. Customer ID, I right click and I say summarize value as count, and this is going to be summarize value as sum. That is fine. When you have two fields into row, you need to use something called classic pivot table layout, which is very important, guys. What you can do here, if you say row level having two columns, two fields, you just right click on this, go to pivot table options, display, make it as a classic pivot table. To make it enable dragging of fields into the grid, you get this values over here, company, gender in separate column. Right click on this, untick the subtotals, you get this by company, by gender, what is the count of customer, what is the sum of spend amount. Understood, guys? So this is called classic pivot table layout. I'll also show you something here which is called, if you go for keeping your data like this and get your sum of spend amount, if I want to get values out of this for, let's say, male, I can use an option which says if it's equal sign, get the value from the pivot table. It is called get pivot is an option. I just have to change it to my gender as male. For my company, I want to change it to Dr. Reddy's. I can say this is what my value. Understood, guys? Right? This is what use of get pivot data. So I call this as basic pivot 2. Now I'll go for basic pivot 3. So in the basic pivot 1, you understood what is the use of row, column, and guys, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, guys. So we understood what is the use of row label. We understood what is the use of row label. We understood what is the use of column, value, and the filter. We also understood how to go for creating this classic pivot table layout to make this column in different grids. We also understood what is the use of get pivot data. For example, guys, if I have been asked to get these are the companies value, I can say equals and get the value from the pivot table. Now in this, instead of female, I can select the value from here where I can make 9 is going to be constant. Instead of Geno, I can select the value from here, which is going to R is going to be constant here. So if I drag this to the right and to the down, it becomes as my values. Can you see this? Got it here, guys? So
Yes.
this is how we got to know how to go for using basic pivot 2, which is get pivot data. So the importance of get pivot data. We also understand the use of classic pivot table layout. Now, I want to tell you about the third option, which is called slicer. So using this data, I go for creating a pivot table where I take company wise, I take customer ID as a count here. Right guys, summarize value as count. I copy this pivot table. I take company wise, this is called sum of spend amount. So this is how two different pivot which I created. In this pivot table, I go for giving, go to analyze, give a slicer to gender and state code. So now what happens when I make any selection to gender to state code, it shows me this is the count of customer. Can you see that? Now, what you can do here, if you want to make this pivot to be changed, the values are going to be changed based on this selection criteria from the slicers. What you can do, you can go to this pivot, you can go to analyze, you can go for filter connection to these two pivots. So now these slicers are connected to pivot 1 and pivot 2 together. So you select anything from here, it is going to change in both the pivots. So this is called pivot slicer connection. So this is called basic pivot 3, which we covered now. Okay guys. So now basic pivot is covered. Okay. So the fourth file which I'll create now called data and information. So what is called data and information? Open this Excel file, right? I copy the data from Maidstone. Let's say all this information I copied from whatever is there in this file. I just copied that and I paste it to this Excel file and I go back to close this file. Okay, so being a data scientist or being an analyst, you have to think beyond this information, how to make this data more informative. So if I look for this data to make it as more informative, I can call my card registration date to my registration year. I create a new field called registration year. I can add a new field to this which is called registration month. I can add a new field which is called registration year month field. So how can I go for this? I will use year function over these date values to get these values over like this, but you can do format cell, make it to a number format. This is year. I go for using text. This is the value. Convert this into MMM, which is going to read this into month, into word. I can convert this into year month. I can write year function of this date value and multiplied with 100 plus month of this date value. I get this here as my year month value, format cell, make it to number. I get this value as year month format. Is this clear now, guys? Now I want to see insert. So when I got card registration, I got first use how many days gap. So if I say days gap, how will I get days gap? I'll use a function in Excel which is called date diff between. Guys, who is writing this? Guys, please stop this. Guys, please do not disturb me. If I write D, I can see format cell, make it to number. So these many days gap. Okay. Why I got error for this, guys? Any idea?
Yes, character
Where is the character?
error ones.
Which is the character here? Now both are the date field. Why I got this error? Okay. So anyways, so this is where I can get my. So these are the error will come through. We'll check it. Why it is why this error came? We'll check it. Okay. So apart from this, to make this data more informative, I go to create something called insert as my age underscore bucket. So what I'll do here, I make it here condition saying if this age is greater or equal to 70, I call this as a 70 plus. I go for this if age is greater or equal to 50, I call this as 50 to 69. This is the age. I go for writing it here. If this is greater or equal to 30, I call this 30 to 49 is the age, else less than 30. I go for closing the bracket here. So I got a age bucket here. Right, guys? This is the data. I got it here. Now, what I can do apart from this, so I want to get a data from this table where I can see by each company wise what is the average visit and each company wise what is the average spent by the customer. So what I can do here, taking this data, I go for creating a pivot table company wise. I take it here, what is the average spent, taking it here, what is the, I go for summarize value, what is called average spent here and average per visit. So this is what my data I have. So I just copy this data paste it across here. Select this data, right click, do a format cell, making it a number with 0 decimal values. So I have, this is called average spend and this is called average visit. So how should I put that into? So I'll call this, what is the average visits and what is called average spend. So how to get that? I write VLOOKUP. The lookup value is going to be company. I go to this table where I make it as 2 and 0 to get what is the average spend by company. Same thing VLOOKUP. I go to the lookup value as company to this table. I get this as 3 and 0 where I got what is the average spend. Now using these two column, I do a format cell, make it to a 0 decimal values. I need to identify all customer status. How will you go for customer status here? If the customer, no, this is called spend status. So I'll go for spend status, spend underscore status, and this is called visit underscore status. So spend status is what? If the spend amount is greater than this average spend, we call this as premier customer. Else we call this as non-premier customer. Got it, guys? Same thing. I go here if the number of visit is greater than the average visits is going to be regular. It's a regular customer, or I call this as a casual customer. So I got, this is what the understanding of who are the casual, who are the regular. Now I want to create something called customer segment. So how will you get the customer segment, guys, from this data?
If
Imagine if a customer is regular and customer is premier, they are the loyal customer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you will give a condition saying that if and this equal to premier and this is equal to regular, right? We call this as bona fide. Let's say bona fide or loyal customer. Bona fide customer. Again, if, then and this equal to premier. This equal to premier and this equal to casual, right? What do you call this kind of customer? As power, they can spend more, they can spend more in less visit, and that spend is above average. So you call them as a power customer. Rest all you will call this as a casual customer. Okay, guys. So you close the bracket and drag this down. So guys, these are called manipulative field. So which you created here, these are the manipulative field. Understood? Guys, understood?
yes,
Yes,
No,
sir.
nobody is
Yes,
going
sir.
to
yes,
give
yes,
this kind of informations. Being an analyst, you need to identify this. This is called a derived field. You have to derive those values here, right? Days gap, this is also a derived field. Your year, month, these all are derived field. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
how
sir.
to
yes,
look
sir.
at the data, how to get these other informations. Now using these informations, now we have data, we have summary. Now let's go for designing and insights from this data using a pivot table. Okay, guys. Guys, do you have patience to continue now?
Yes, sir.
Honestly,
So if you want to continue tomorrow, that is also fine, like 7:30 onwards.
tomorrow also I'm free. I don't have any class. So, guys, you want to do it tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.